Cool. Well, hey, Pastor Justin here, and I wanted to take some time actually to share about the vision and movement of Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. You guys have heard me said so many times about this. To me, first of all, is internal. So this is not something that at the moment I want to really be shared out to a bunch of people and to be engaged. But for me, the goal is for us as a professional team and core leadership here at Friendship to have access to really just my heart for God's people, my heart for friendship, my heart for what God is calling us to, and to give some clarity and some language to what I sense God is calling us to do and how we'll get there. So this will be a series of a couple of different videos that you'll see, not highly overproduced. And eventually, I want to do that for we have to do some fundraising and engage with our members. But in this case, I want to start off with really just kind of sharing what I sense that God is calling us to do for the next 3 to 5 years. For the next 3 to 5 years, I truly believe that success can be accelerated, and it's accelerated by faith, accelerated through us being faithful to what God is calling us to do. So this may not take the full 3 to 5 years, may take the next 6 months. What we've seen God do so far here at Friendship is that things that normally would take certain churches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's taking us the same amount of time, but in months. And I'm totally cool with that. It just means that we must be in tune with the future. And I'm sharing my heart with all of us because we all are willing to be a part of what God is calling us to do. And I think prayerfully, this will give you the high level strategy, what God is calling friendship beyond in this moment, so that we can then enact it together. So I want to start off by just giving some explanation to our theme, which is really our vision and purpose statement in terms of what does it mean, right? And so you've heard me already mention about how we're still Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, but the way that I sense that God is calling us is not just to be the church for us, but the church for our city, to be Friendship Vallejo. And then we're still Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, but just friendshipvallejo.org, jesusandvallejo.org, engendering the word Vallejo into the word friendship, engendering the word Vallejo into the work here at Friendship, so that, for example, the reason if it comes to the logo, to place the city on our logo, cross compared to stained glass. Stained glass is a representation of who we are. The city is a representation of who we're becoming. And so that marking us, and logos are not forever. So, logos have a lifespan of about 6 to 10 years at maximum, unless your logo, even Facebook updated their logo, right? Even YouTube and Instagram, I mean, even old companies. McDonald's has refreshed the McDonald's logo. Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears have updated even their logos, right? And certain things like that. So no matter how storied an organization is, there's still a refreshing that happens with the logo. And so the logo is a dictator not to who we are, but the logo is a dictation of who we're yet becoming. So we brand who we're becoming. So when we become it, you change the logo. And so that's where Friendship Vallejo comes in. And so that's where even the vision statement of making known in Vallejo as it is in heaven. And the question for that becomes, how do we make known Jesus in Vallejo, right? And what does that really mean? And I want you to consider the scripture that centers us, and it's Micah 6:8. And the writer says these words: He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. I want to give you the message translation as well. I love how it just gives us a fresh way to look at it. It says this: But he's already made it plain how to live, what to do, what God is looking for in men and women. It's quite simple. Do what is fair and just to your neighbor, be compassionate and loyal in your love, and don't take yourself too seriously. Take God seriously. The scripture put together shows us what it means to make known in Vallejo, as Jesus has already said in heaven, and that is we are making disciples. We take God serious. Don't take ourselves too serious. Don't put ourselves higher than anyone else. So we take God seriously, and in taking God seriously, we desire to make disciples. And the goal here is so that everybody has an everyday relationship with Jesus. An everyday relationship with Jesus. And it's going to make sense to get into the village. So what does that look like? Well, our purpose statement. We are a community of Christ-led liberators who love Jesus, heal people, serve Vallejo, and build community. That everyday relationship with Jesus says these are the four tenets we truly believe mark what it means to be a person who reflects Jesus Christ, that we are intentionally in love with Jesus. We serve the community that God has put us in. We desire to see people healed. We want to heal people, and that's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, whatever that is. And we desire to build community. You can't do life alone. Those four tenets of our purpose and vision statement is what then we do to make known in Vallejo as it is in heaven. And if you notice, it sounds very similar to what we see in Micah 6:8. God has taught us how to live. He's made it plain. God is looking for people to do a couple of things. do what is fair and just to your neighbor, be compassionate and loyal in your love, and don't take yourself too seriously. Does it sound a lot like Love, Heal, Serve, and Build? God is calling us to love people, to serve Vallejo, to love Jesus, serve Vallejo, heal people, and build community. So that's what we do. That's what I sense that God is calling us to be. And that's in Vallejo as it is in heaven, the long range goal of it. It may sound like offensive, but I really believe that it's not so far out that it's not impossible. So let me give some clarity to what it means and how to actualize it and what's next for friendship. And so these following couple of videos will provide some strategy for and clarity, sorry, to the strategy. I'm not giving you a concrete plan and with a bunch of objectives and goals. I want to hear those from you. But this strategy for us gives us strategic vision. And as leaders, we then together can develop a plan with tactics. I'm not giving us the tactics. We can think and dream of tactics, but I want to give us the strategy. This is the end result of what I believe the next 3 to 5 years is going to look like for our church. This is the end result of the work that I believe that God is calling us to do as an organization together, and then we can do the tactics. So let's have some fun for the next couple of minutes as we dive into different videos in terms of what it means to fulfill, make known in Vallejo as it is in heaven.